IN101M had started when, in 2011, I had wanted to do I had seen Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. And what I wanted to do was 31 Days of October horror movie reviews, and I still have the scripts on my computer and everything. And at the time, I was just getting into Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic, and those guys are my heroes. And I had just decided instead of doing 31 days, because that'd be stupid, why not turn this into an ongoing internet show where you would review one movie each episode, and eventually it got into more and more. That's kind of how IN101M was created. At the same time, I think that the more I progressed, the more I was like, okay, I gotta get really creative with this. So what ended up happening was I needed help. So I enlisted my buddy Josh Morgan, who's always by my side.
You should have respected my thoughts.
I did, and
look at the camera lens, you're not supposed to.
He and I both started out doing rubber together, and then once we did rubber, we were like, okay, well, we could continue, we could keep going like this, because once we got the Tyre and Robert in there, we were like, okay, well, we can introduce more characters. So we did. So the first actress I ever had was Brooke Frangman, who's an amazing friend of mine, and she decided to come over and she'd play the Invisible Woman.
I've known Jamie since 3rd grade, and we've been friends ever since. And he always loved, movies, videos, would always show me something new. And in 2011, when he started his first season, I remember him showing me the video Rubber, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I wanted to be a part of it. So the only dilemma was I did not want to be on camera at all. So I remember him going, I think I can make this work. And he came up to me one day and he's just like, I made a script and you are going to be the Invisible Woman.
Jeez, what are you, a ghost or something?
No.
What the hell are you then?
I'm the Invisible Woman.
At the time that we had that going, then we decided, okay, we'll just introduce Freddy Krueger, we'll do Jason Voorhees. But then by the time I got to Jason Goes to Hell, I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I need to have better equipment. So that's where the new cameras and the video editing software, that's where all that came into. And by the time I had gotten all that, we did the Dracula episode where I've got Brooke back and I got another friend of mine, Catalina, over, and that's actually one of my favorite ones that I've ever filmed. All right, that's it. Oh shit! I need my whip. Oh my god! Oh. I need my whip. Wait, that was perfect too. Wasn't it? It was. Shit.
During the first season of 2011, Jamie brought up Dracula, and originally he wanted, to show it in December and film it, but we kept pushing it off. Eventually, we ended up pushing it off until probably around April. We wanted to push it off until April because he wanted to, end his season. Well, our schedules were very busy, so he had some issues and we had to push it off again. Eventually, we finally filmed it in July. And we originally had 3 vampires, but one of the girls, Lindsay, she ended up having to work that day, so we ended up just filming with 2.
The Dracula episode was one in which I should have had Dracula, but instead I had the brides because I thought that attracted larger attention, which it did. And I was looking through it and I'm like, there were like 7 different likes and there was like one dislike, and this was on YouTube. I'm like, yes, I did something right. Somebody doesn't like the video.
It was very cold though. He did not turn off the AC, so we were freezing while he was sitting away from us and sweating a lot, so we froze the entire time.
Wait, what was that? What the hell's going on? I mean, what the...
Hello, insane nerd.
Oh my god, Andrew Ampha from Media World or One?
I discovered Jamie's channel about 2 years ago now, Insane Nerd, kind of 101 in a sense. Basically for accident, weirdly enough, I was just on Facebook. I was recently rewatching all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Some of the ones that I haven't seen before, I think like Dream Warrior or something along those lines, or Dream Child, things like that. You know, those movies which I haven't seen for the very first time. And I looked, I was just looking on Facebook, just seeing other people follow it on forums and groups and things like that, and I discovered his review, basically his kind of skit review underneath the comments, and I was like, okay, I checked it out, and I was really impressed. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was well put together. I thought the look of Freddy and the hat and the glove and all perfectly well done, and it was very informative. It was very well put together. It was very creative, and I was like, hey man, I'm fantastic. I subscribed to his channel instantly.
I think it was just one day I had contacted Andrew because he had told me he liked the Nightmare on Elm Street video, and I was kind of like, okay, maybe I want to keep in contact with this guy and could do a potential crossover. Just like one day out of the blue, I'm like, hey, do you want to do a crossover together?
I sent him a message or something. I can't remember exactly how we managed to start collaborating massively. I think he was just by accident purely. I think I might have commented on his video, or might have sent him a private message saying, I found your work, I'd like to do a collaboration or something along those lines, if I remember correctly, and which led to some of our work later on.
From Andrew Amphlett, enjoy. Brave Encounters 2.
Jeez, when the hell is that little asshole gonna actually do something like with his life? Like actually get in a real movie instead of wasting my time and just harassing me and shit.
Andrew's like this really cool, awesome guy. He's just, and he's British, so I can't say I really do have a lot of British friends.
We did, of course, Alien vs Predator 2, Requiem, which of course is the one over here. The film, which I thought was a really good one to do in a sense, mainly because I thought I really liked the film. He absolutely hates it, and I thought that was a good crash, basically, of ideas, and very nostalgic critic, and that type of thing. And at the time, my channel wasn't really massively big for skits because of the limitations that I had. I was doing laptop web cameras at the time, and eventually I had a really crappy mobile phone record, which is the footage basically that I was recording for that review. Luckily he managed to kind of, I think, boost it up a little bit, tidy it up, but I mean, I regret not using the HD camera which I've got now. Of course, it's at the time I was really happy with, and I was really pumped, and I think it was just something that I was really happy with because I was just being really creative, and I was coming out of college and stepping into university, and I just wanted to do so much more stuff, and that's when I got the camera eventually, of course. I was really happy with that review. I thought it was well put together. It was scripted quite well. We basically back and forth did added lines, different things like that, but collaborated ideas. I think I added a couple of different ideas myself, and I think we did something really well. I think it was a really good review, personally, honest, and a good skit. At the time he was doing kind of these comic book art sketches, basically got like an artist to do these sketches, title cards for his videos on YouTube at the time, and he did one for Watchmen, of course, and that was his last, I think that was his last after the one we did, and he did one for us, Alien vs Requiem, which I think is just fantastically well written, and he forked out money to go and get that, which I'm forever grateful for you doing that, because I think it's just fantastic. I love that piece of artwork, and it's something which I'm always going to remember and cherish, and when I get my own place, of course, I'm going to get a big version of a blow-up version and just frame it, because I think it symbolises a moment in time, basically, that review and the actual image of just two people collaborating, one from Britain, one from the United States. My character in his kind of world, in a sense, was the British kind of like, I'm better than you type thing.
And we had kind of set him up where, like, I'm the American asshole and he's just the British guy, that it's kind of like a Spider-Man Venom sort of relationship. It's like, anything you can do, I can do better.
I asked him a couple of times, can you do a couple of bit of footage of mine? He did VHS 2 I was doing my review for that, and I was doing a couple of skits for that, you know, it was basically an anthology movie, and he did a really fantastic skit which I asked him to do, like a demon type one, which I felt was really put together. I was really happy with what he wanted, you know, what he managed to achieve in that. Basically I asked him just to basically do a found footage type thing and just run, and he did it really well. He spent time on that, he edited it, put together, and you know, I did a couple of sound effects and made it work with the my review, and I think that footage looks really cool, and I'm really grateful for him to be in that. And again, with the Friday the 13th, I think Jason Takes My Name on someone's old Jason Goes to Hell. I want to do kind of like a link into that with his review as well, and I thought that was well put together, definitely, for sure.
And now, a sneak peek preview for the upcoming season 3 of IN101M.
We weren't even going to do a season 3, and then once it was decided we're going to do Carrie, because Carrie was originally scripted for season 2, okay, we're doing Carrie, now we have to do a season 3.
You will kneel before me.
Not today!
Oh shit.
So we got Carrie rolling, we did some production photos where I'm covered in blood and stuff, and that was actually a really good day.
Originally, I was supposed to play Carrie, and, well, during the time period, he wanted to, you know, make the video and everything. I had to go to basic training.
I was kind of in a pickle because I really didn't have anybody to play the actress of Carrie, so I finally called up a good friend of mine, Lizzie Gitkin. She came over, and that's how that happened. And she was really talented for her first day, so I'm actually kind of glad that we got through with that.
He did some Doctor Who references, which is really good because in fact I like Doctor Who.
My role in Jamie's films is, well, I've only ever been in 3 seconds of it. And that 3 seconds is just like I broke into his conversation, and that's what Jamie has me do in his things, and I think that's probably what I'm going to keep doing.
And then we introduced Pedro, who's Juan Zepeda. He PJ David's chauffeur, who you see in the 50th episode, and we all went to school together. PJ and I graduated together. He and I were in kindergarten. We used to ride the bus. We have a long history together.
So here's what we're gonna do, okay? We're gonna do, so you're gonna walk up to the door, and you'll be like, "What's up, nerd?" And I go, "Pedro."
Well, the first time I ever met Jamie was in high school. I was in gym class. That's where we both met each other, in gym class. He was an odd fellow when I met him, but it was alright. But we got more, get to know each other, and we became friends. Until 2011, I saw he posted a video on Facebook. He was like, IN101M movies. Like, what the heck is that? And I started to watch it, and I was like, that's pretty funny, I said to myself, but he's a pretty fucking guy. He's funny. Until more, he got me into this too. I didn't want to be part of it, but I didn't know I was going to be an actor, but he got me into it.
Now it's like an everyday occurrence. I'm always hanging out with Juan. I'll see him. I'll call him up like once every week. I'll be like, let's go do something. Sure enough, we'll go do something.
So right now we're gonna go. We're filming.
This should be our last day, and then I'll edit it tonight, and then we'll be finished. So we're just doing the unconscious scene right now. So Spear.
First time I ever acted was terrible, very terrible, but it was alright. I guess when I watched the first time the video, it was alright.
What are you even doing back here anyway?
Oh, I heard you're having problems.
What are you talking about?
Seth said.
Seth, you know what? Forget what Seth said, alright?
There's just one time during the winter, Jamie came to my fucking place. I don't know what time it was, but I think it was 8:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. And he had Josh Morgan with him, drinking a cup of coffee. So I told Jamie, what are we doing? We're filming today. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, okay. So we went to this place in the cemetery. It was fucking cold as hell. I think it was like 3 degrees below.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, you.
You don't think I've had this
Might as well. Motherfucker. Say nerd. Nerd.
We went to McDonald's. When we got there, Jamie forgot to wash off the blood off his face anyway, so it was fake blood anyway, don't worry. So when we sat down, people were just looking at us and him too, especially. So they were all scared. So we got out of there quick before we thought they were going to call the cops and all that.
Dude, I wore your granddad's clothes, and I look incredible in it. And this is my homeboy right here, Jamal. I picked him up from the projects.
Dude, I'm not even going to go into how racist that is. And besides, it's not true. But my name is Jamal.
He picked the most stereotypical African American and Mexican names he could ever think of. Jamal and Pedro.
Asshole.
How's therapy?
It's fine, yes.
About her?
About who?
Abby.
How'd you know about her?
Ryan told me.
I got involved in the Insane Nerd series trilogy thing that he's working on so hard because basically I met him through my mom, and then he showed up at my job and told me that I was supposed to be an angel. We filmed, and it wasn't until after the whole thing had been processed that I found out I was playing a much bigger role than I thought I was.
Wait.
Who are you exactly?
Isn't it obvious? I'm your guardian angel.
The most interesting thing that happened in the church, aside from the fact that I got changed in the church, I'm not going to heaven, or the fact that there may or may not have been a body behind the altar. Yeah, that's an interesting fact. And, yeah, I couldn't even open the door.
3.
Okay, isn't it obvious I'm your guardian angel?
Yeah. Ready?
Isn't it obvious? I'm your guardian angel. It's a bolt.
Let's use this. That was awesome, though. I like that little thing you did with your head.
There's got to be a story behind Abby. I mean, obviously she's dead, but something had to have happened to her for her to be able to be back now. There's got to be a reason for it. Why now? I think there's a lot behind Abby that we just don't know yet.
I think he's just done really well for himself. I think I'm really proud of him, definitely, and I'm glad I got to be part of his channel, basically.
I really like Jamie's film series. It started off as just like him reviewing movies, and then it really took on a life of its own. And the nice thing is that it's had a natural evolution. Like, it hasn't felt forced. You have, well, he started off with just him reviewing movies, and then his character developed a personality, and then through his personality, the character, all these zany situations occurred, and now it just keeps spiraling zanier and zanier and zanier, and I really like that.
And the goal when it first started was to use it as kind of an experimentation, see what people respond to and what people don't, but then it kind of grew into this thing that unites a lot of different people from a lot of different groups, and I'm talking about as far as everybody who's helped out. We're just like one big family. I mean, those guys are the greatest. I love working with them. They're amazing, and I'm pretty sure if you asked them, they'd say probably the same thing about me.
Jamie is a cockroach.
He smells funny. A little obsessive.
Jamie's a bastard.
Jamie is a chowderhead.
He's my slave driver.
He's so annoying.
A little strange.
A cockroach.
Like I said, the exact same thing.
But he's really cool.
Honestly, the thing about the Insane Nerd is that it's got potential. It has that factor that it could build off of. And while I probably won't watch any of the scenes that I'm in, simply because I'm self-conscious, I feel like it's actually got room to grow.
I really didn't want to do a 4th season, but everybody wants me to do one. So I think I'm going to do one last one, and then if I think it still has potential, then we'll do one after it. But expect about 7 episodes. We're not going major with this one.
Season 1 through Season 3 were amazing. Jamie's very talented. I thought you could definitely see how much he's progressed from the 1st season to the 3rd. And I'm really excited to see the 4th season.
It's going to be a roller coaster ride.
Possibly be a part of it. But that's about all I can say, because, you know, he probably has snipers on me or something.
We're going to expand on Pedro a little bit. He's going to come back.
Well, right now, you don't see him as much what he can do in the show, but later on, you will see him soon in season 4. That's when he turns into an ultimate badass. So he has pretty bad skills and all that, and knife skills and all that.
It'll probably be, without a doubt, the best season by far. So I'm excited.
I'm definitely a privilege to be part of his channel, I think, perfectly honest. You know, I love it when people you know, collaborate, you know, no matter where you are from different parts of the world, you know, no matter what person you are, and if you say, I've got an idea, you know, I can respect that, and I can say, okay, let's see what I can do, see what I can contribute to that.
I definitely owe everything that's come out of this to the fans and my friends and everybody who's supported it, everybody who's helped me with it. And I state this over and over and over again because I actually genuinely mean it. This wouldn't have gone 50 episodes if it weren't for you guys, so thank you for everything.